Hey guys, James, met PJ Hope. What's happening? Kelly, Amanda. All right, we'll give this a few minutes here. Allow a couple minutes for people to join. Forgive the hair, guys. Forgive the hair. Nobody's open. No barbers are open. Keep playing with it. Very hot in Florida still. Nice. Joseph, where are you at in Florida? It's like 40 degrees out today. It's a little chilly. It's windy up here too. Not the nicest of days. Saturday is going to be 70. James, you got clippers? Nice. I'm jealous. I think I'm just going to wait for my barber. I don't trust myself. Guys, I'm broadcasting from the Tuxedo Club dining room here. Dining room turned golf instruction room. So I kind of like it better this way. I've moved all the tables and chairs. Right. Gives me plenty of room to get some swings in here. Hopefully I don't break anything. You know, I really like my job, so I want to keep it. Kaylin Sabah. Former Met PGA interns right here. Me and Kaylin Sabah, best ever. Kelly can validate that. All right, just a couple more minutes, guys. And then we'll get going. Where's everybody joining from today? Everybody up in New York for the most part? Yeah, definitely the best ever, Caitlin. Brian Hughes, little shout out here. She needs a lift to the next tournament. I think she was giving me the rides. Oh, man. Newburgh. All right. I know Newburgh. Grew up in Cornwall. What's up, Nick? Joseph, we are allowed outside. Artie from Queens. Nice. I played Bethpage Black the other day, Artie. Have you ever been out there? Bethpage is awesome. The Black is something real, too. Joseph, we are allowed outside. Yeah, our golf course is open. I'm at the Tuxedo Club here. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit, but golf course is open. There's some people out there today. It's pretty busy. I'm sure Saturday is going to be packed. Anybody playing any golf lately? If so, where are you playing? Yeah, Bethpage is sick. New York City still shut down, yeah. You can get to the golf courses though, Artie. You know, if you feel like getting out, it's I'm sure Bethpage isn't too far from you. They got 5 courses there too. All depending on your skill level. You could, you don't have to play the black, which is actually really hard. But blue green, they're pretty fair, nice courses. Playing Eisenhower tomorrow, Nick. Nice. Have fun. I'm probably playing Saturday somewhere. I have to. It's 71 degrees on Saturday. All right. Kelly, Amanda, should we get started here? Let me know when. BP is Nassau. Yeah. Tampa, Florida. Nice. Tom Brady, your neighbor? Is he walking in your house? Heard he's been trespassing in some parks as well. All right, I think we got the A-OK to start here. Guys, everyone that's on right now, thanks for joining. Really looking forward to today. First time going Facebook Live, so I'm glad I'm doing it with the Met PGA Hope group. Before I even introduce myself, I just want to thank all you guys, all the military veterans out there that serve for our country, that has allowed me, given me the freedom to do what I love for a living. I really appreciate everything you guys have done for us, and I'm happy to give back in the smallest way by doing a little golf instruction, I guess, webinar you'd call it today. Really looking forward to this today. Just if you guys want to reach out to me afterwards, I've got social media, Joe Condo Golf on Instagram or Facebook. If something is just a little confusing today, or you have a question, or you just want to DM me your swing, right? Shoot me a message on Instagram. I use mostly, but feel free to DM me or send me a message on Facebook. Be happy to chat with you guys. Gonna try and do my best to keep things simple today. I'll go over the topic in a little bit. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Joe Condomitti. I'm the first assistant golf professional at the Tuxedo Club. Tuxedo Club's in Tuxedo Park, New York. It is in the Mets section, even though it feels like it's on the outskirts a little bit. We're 5 minutes from Jersey, so we are in the Mets section, but it feels kind of far away. A little background on myself. I grew up in Cornwall, New York, which is right next to West Point. For those of you in the city, it's about an hour and a half, I would say, north of the city, west side of the Hudson. And I started playing golf at the age of 10. I caught the bug early. My dad bought me a set of clubs, and I had friends that played golf, so I was lucky. I started playing this par 3 course. I think I might have been about 12 years old when I started playing, and played that all day, every day for a couple years. I finally graduated to Storm King Golf Club, which is a little 9-hole course in Cornwall, and I kid you not, I would play from 8 o'clock in the morning until 8 p.m. at night, probably all day throughout the summer. I just saw John Small is in the building here. When I wasn't working for John at Otterkill, I was at Storm King playing golf. So even when I was working at Otterkill, I was trying to sneak away and go play 9 at Storm King. But so I played a lot of golf at Storm King, throughout high school and after high school and college. I was very fortunate, I think at about age 12, my mom started taking me for golf lessons with Jerry Impellitteri he owned a driving range in New Windsor. It was Duffer's Hideaway. So I used to love taking golf lessons because this guy was a great teacher. For those of you that don't know Jerry, I don't know what year it was, but I know he won Met Section PGA Teacher of the Year one year, and he was a really good teacher. So I took lessons from him. Like I said before, I used to love getting golf lessons because I would leave, I would be fixed. It was like going to the mechanic, right? Bringing your car to the mechanic. I'd play some of my best golf right after that lesson, and as soon as I got a lesson, I'd go straight to the course, right? As long as my mom was willing to take me there. So part of the reason I'm telling you that story is I'm going to parlay that into what we're going over today. One of the coolest lessons I ever took from Jerry was when he put me on video. And remember, this is probably, I'm 30, so 18 years ago. So it's a little different now. We've got the smartphones, we got the iPads. It's a lot easier to record video and analyze now. But back then we had the camera. You had to bring the camera out on a tripod. We had to go inside. You had to load it up on the laptop. It was old school, but it was really cool. It was a lesson that stuck out to me, and to this day, I'm always looking at my swing on video. Obviously, I'm a golf instructor myself now, so I know a little bit more than I did back then. Probably too much for my own good here, right? Sometimes when you look at your swing, and you just want to change everything, but. So my goal today is to show you guys just some basics. One, teach you guys how to shoot your own video. You can do smartphone, iPad. You can even do it on a computer if that's all you got, right? But I'm going to show you kind of things to look at. I'm going to keep it simple, just like one or two things. Things that I always look at my own swing, when I'm critiquing my own swing, and when I am when I'm giving lessons, right? I pretty much video most of my lessons. All right, so first things first. Let me grab my phone here. Make sure no one's texting me. All right, perfect. All right, so first things first, the app I use, it's a free app. Anyone can download it. It's a really cool app, right? It's called Huddle Technique, right? I'm showing you guys all my apps here. It's that orange one right there. Download that. We're gonna click on that first. Okay. Now, down here at the bottom, right, you can record your swing. Press this button, just like that, nice and simple. Now, I have a tripod. You could have your friend hold your phone for you. I know it's stranger times now, right? Maybe your buddy's not holding your phone anymore, but maybe he could take it from his phone, right, and send it to you. You could do that as well. But the most important thing, once you start filming your golf swing, make sure you do it in the same exact spot every single time, right? All right, so let me kind of show you here. So let's just say that water bottle is the golf ball, right? I like to stand directly behind the golf ball in line with the target, so the flag, okay? So I'm gonna line, so we call that the target line. So you gotta be careful. You don't wanna film it too much of an angle, right? You don't wanna film too far this way, and you don't wanna be too far this way. Just make sure that we are filming at the same spot every single time, all right? Now I'm gonna move the computer here because I wanna show you guys a couple swings that I took today and what you wanna look at. And if you guys have any questions, feel free just to ask me. If you want me to explain it over again too, I'd be happy to do that. I'm gonna just flip the computer around for a second. All right, so there's two views, right? So we are going to film from the face-on view, okay, which is this, right? You're looking straight at your face. Make sure when you film that try and get the whole club, right, in the swing. Right, that one I actually got cut off a little bit, but do your best, to leave a lot of space on the outside. You could always zoom in, use this feature and zoom in, right? So you can never go too big. So the only thing I'm looking at when I look at it from face on here is I'm just looking at the way my body is moving, right? So I'm gonna draw these two lines here. That's another really cool feature about this app is you can draw lines, right? All right, so we're gonna draw lines just outside our legs there. All right, so the first one I did was a good one, right? Now, any sport, to maximize your power and your efficiency, you want to load from your trail side to your front foot, right? So for a right-handed golfer, you're going to load from your right side over to your left side. Like if you think about throwing a football, throwing a baseball, even shooting a three-pointer, right, in basketball, you're always going to go from your trail side to your front side, right, to maximize power. So this is a good one. Now notice how, let me just get it in a good spot here. All right, notice how I've loaded over to my right side. I'm closer to this line right here, right? I've actually shifted over a little bit. Notice how I've created a little space here, right, between my left hip and that line, okay? That's what we want it to look like right there, right? I'm gonna show you a couple bad swings too, but this is a proper proper way to load your golf swing. And then when I come through, I'm going to shift over to the left side. So let's take a look at a couple of bad ones. This one, you don't want to be this guy right here. This guy's going to have a hard time playing. All right. So his weight, we call this position a reverse pivot here. This guy went totally forward. Notice how there's a lot of space, right? His hips went past the front line. What's he going to have to do to compensate on the downswing? He's going to actually have to back up. That's not efficient. That guy with the driver is going to easily lose about 50 to 100, or maybe even more. Yeah, maybe 50 to 70 yards with his driver. So if this looks like you got to really focus on getting a little weight shift over to the right side. Now, one more incorrect sequence here would be this guy. This guy has just a little bit too much lateral shift, right? See how he goes way outside that right line? Doesn't have a lot of rotation, right? You've got to rotate your hips on the backswing. This guy, a drill that I would give him would be, just to rotate a little bit more. Stay in between those two red lines, right? Almost feel like you're rotating maybe in a barrel. So, excuse me, guys. So this is perfect. So this is the face-on view. This is when we're looking at the body. This is what I want you guys looking at. This is the only thing we're going to look at from this view. Now I'm just going to turn the computer around for a moment. Before we look at the other view, down the line view, I am going to see if anyone has any questions. Joseph, the app is, I'm going to type it in. Puddle Technique. Really cool app and it's free, so it's a no-brainer. Guys, before we get to the other view, if you have any questions or want me to go over something, feel free. Let me just grab a water here. All right, looks like maybe no questions. All right, so why don't we take a look at the down the line view. This view, when we're looking at the swing from this view, we're gonna look more at what the club is doing. Like face on view, we were looking at the body. I don't look at the body a lot, but sometimes when things get a little funky, I do. But this is the most important view, in my opinion, just because we want to see what the club's doing. All right, let me flip the computer around. Any more questions? Yeah, you got it, Joseph. All right. So now this is the down the line view. All right, so what we're going to do here, now remember what I was talking about before. I like to film from down the target line. So if we drew a straight line back, I didn't draw a perfect line there, but I hope you understand what I'm talking about. If that is the flag way out here, I'm going to draw a straight line back between the golf ball, and I'm going to stand right behind on that line. All right, so let's delete this line. All right, so what we're going to look at on here is we're going to look at the club path. We're going to take a line. We're going to draw it right over the shaft of the club. Just like that, you want to try and hide that shaft, right? And you're going to extend the line all the way up to above your head. Now, all we're going to do here is we're just going to track where the club head is and which way the club path is going, right? Now, if your club path is going too far to the left or too far to the right, it's going to cause some excess curve on the ball. It's going to cause you to slice it or hit it a hook. So we're going to go over some drills afterwards where I'm going to show you how to do some opposites to kind of balance out that. But I'm just going to show you how to check it real quick. So Backswing is less important, right? We never hit a ball on our backswing. We always hit it on the downswing. So I don't even really want you looking at your backswing. What we're going to do here, from about when the club is parallel or level to the ground, we're going to take a look at where that club head is. Now, our goal is to get that club head as close to the line as possible. Does it have to be perfectly on the line? No, but it's got to be reasonably close. So I'm going to check about right here. I'm going to zoom in to try and give you guys a good picture. Now you see how that club head's right on the line? That was a pretty good swing. This ball went pretty straight. Okay, another really cool feature of this app is see how slow I can scroll, right? How slow motion you could go in. It's pretty neat. All right, so now let's look at a couple bad ones. All right, now this is somebody who would hit a slice. Let's see, slice, perfect. All right, so I'm going to draw shaft plane line again. We're going to take a look at the club path on this one, see if it's going right or left. Tell me what you guys think here. Stop it when the club is about halfway down. All right. Now this is someone who's going to hit a slice. Just want to make sure you guys can see that. All right, perfect. All right, see how that club head is way above the line? It's literally a good foot to a foot and a half above the line. So this guy, we're gonna work on some drills in a little bit here, but this guy has got to get the club head a lot closer to that line. Feel like it's way lower. Right now, this ball I hit like a 20-yard slice with a 9-iron. So, yeah, that's what a slice swing looks like. Now let's look at someone who would hit a hook. Guys, if you want to take some swings of your video and DM me on Instagram or Facebook, I can not only can I give you some advice, but I could show you properly how to video. Maybe you were off on an angle or something like that, or standing too close. Send me, try this in your backyard, or if you got room in your house, try videoing your swing, and I'll tell you guys how you did and maybe what you could do better. All right, so this one, notice how this guy was way under the line, right? This guy, we're going to have to do some stuff to get him, feeling like the club is a little more on this side of the line, right? We're going to do some drills in a little bit. But, that's kind of just a brief summary. Let me flip the computer around again. Might have been a little complicated, guys. I did my best to simplify it, but those are just to give a quick summary before we get to some drills and maybe to some questions. Those are the two angles that we're going to use. We're going to film from face on, from this angle, right? We're looking at the body. We're going to draw the lines on the side. Make sure we're getting our proper weight shift, right? From the right side over to the left. Then we're going to film a couple from down the line. This is going to take a look at what the club is doing and what the club path is doing. All right? All right, anybody have any questions before we get to some drills? All right, James, Joe, question. Can you explain the benefits of doing your video analysis using apps like this, using simple methods? Can you explain the benefits of doing your video analysis? Yeah, guys. So, the benefits of using this app, especially, if you've got some instruction, you came to one of our Met PGA Hope clinics, right? And let's say club path was something that you were working on, or you were working on a body shift, right? It's always good to work with somebody and then kind of look at it on video just to verify that you're doing it right. Because unfortunately, us golf instructors, we're not with you all the time, like they are in the PGA Tour. Those guys, walking in the ropes with you and stuff like that. But, when you go to a clinic, whatever you're working on, you could use this video and just make sure you're doing the things that you learned from the next Hope clinic. All right, guys, any more questions before we get to some drills here? Give it a couple more minutes, guys, if anyone has a question. Any drills that you guys want me to do? Is there any, guys, maybe put some comments in, or if there's a miss that you have that you want to get rid of, I'd be happy to give you a drill right now. Maybe you hit a big old hook or a big slice, or you're topping the ball a lot. Put some comments, tell me what kind of shots you're hitting that I could maybe give you some drills to get rid of. All right, I'm gonna move on to the drills here, guys. If you want me to do a drill for your miss, just put it in the comment box. I'll get back to you at we'll get something here. We got a question. Oh yeah. Any great drills to help with your in-to-out path? James, you've read my mind, man. I definitely have that. That's on the list. We're gonna get to that. A lot of our guys chew the ball. How about a drill on that? A lot of our guys top the ball, Kelly? Is that what you meant to say? That's a good one. All right, I'm going to get to, I think Kelly was trying to say top the ball. I'm going to give you a drill on that first before we get to, before I even get to the drills I had planned. So if you top the ball, right, how many people have topped the ball and said, it's because I lifted my head up, right? I lifted my head up, right? That's probably the number one thing that I hear the most. So, oh, I lifted my head on that one. Lifting your head is actually a myth, believe it or not, right? So when I worked for Jim McLean, that was one of his first he would call it anti-fundamentals, right? It was something that wasn't true, right? So, the reason that you're topping, let me angle this computer down a little. All right, so the reason that most people top, especially beginner golfers, now there are a bunch of different ways you can top it, but for beginner golfers, the number one reason why people top the ball is they avoid hitting the ground on the downswing, and they bend their arms, right, going towards impact. So they make a swing, and then instead of getting the club head down to the ball or down to the ground, what they do is lift the arms up, right? And what happens is the club head's on the ground there. The more we bend the arms, the club head gets farther away from the golf ball, right? So what happens is we just kind of skim the top of the golf ball, and we get that little couple yard dribbler. Great question. Let's see what else we got. Tap. Joseph would like to be more consistent hitting the ball in the middle of the club. Great question, Joseph. All right, so hitting the ball in the middle of the club, right? Fundamental number one is hitting the center of the club face. Joseph, chances are that you're either, if you're a slicer of the golf ball or you hit a hook, just throw a comment in there just so I can have an idea. But for the most part, when you're coming into impact, your club face is either too open or too closed, right? So you're not making solid contact. Now, if your club face is too open, you're going to get a lot of contact out in the toe. Versus, if your face is too shut, you're going to get a lot of heel contact, right? So you've got to work on some face stuff. Something simple. Let me just give you one drill. Something simple to work on, to make sure your club face is nice and squared. You can get that nice, crisp, solid contact. That feel that makes us keep coming back, right? Usually happens on your last shot on 18. That's how it always happens. But to get a square club face, I want you to make a backswing, get that club all the way up to the top. Now, what I want you to look for, let me try and get a good angle here. I want you to look at your left wrist, right? I want that left wrist to be flat, right? If you have, I don't have a glove on, unfortunately, but if you had a glove on and you stuck a tee kind of in that glove, just like that, right? You wouldn't create any space here in between the tee and your hand, right? Now, if you've got your wrist bent that way, a little bit, your club face is going to be closed, right? Notice how, right, if I move that wrist angle, my club face changes. Or, vice versa, if you cup your wrist that way, your club face is going to be open. So just take a look at the top. Make sure that left wrist is nice and flat, and you should get some more solid contact. Another great James. Over the top, James. We're definitely getting to that, James. That's number one. Hold on another second here. Another great benefit of using the Huddle Technique app, seeing down the line view. Yep. Slice, Joseph, we'll get to that. Ron, why are many players not able to make a divot swing? Ron, that's a great point. We'll definitely get to a drill on that, but so, a couple reasons why you're not taking a divot. That thing I just went over with the arms, you could be doing that. You could be bending the arms like this, or, you've got too much of a flat swing, right? It's almost like a baseball swing. You're swinging too much around you, right? So if you are not getting a divot and you're just kind of picking the ball off of the turf, right? Try this drill. We're going to take a water bottle. This is my favorite drill, the water bottle drill. I just want to get the lid so I don't spill. All right, I've got some tennis balls here. We are not breaking anything in here. Like I said before, I like my job. All right, perfect. That tennis ball is on there. Just in case, I'm going to put it a little lower. So if you are not making a divot, Rod, what we're going to do is we're going to take the water bottle here. We need to get your club a little more up and down, right? And less around. So we're going to take a water bottle, put it slightly behind the golf ball, about 10 inches, and slightly inside it, maybe 3 inches or so. What this is going to force us to do, this is going to force us to come more down on top of the golf ball, right? The more we come from the inside, the less divot we're going to get. If we do that here with the water bottles there, we're going to hit the water bottle, okay? So place that water bottle there. Now what I want you to do, try a couple practice swings first. Make some swings just missing that bottle, right? Now remember, guys, this is for people that aren't taking divots, that most likely are hitting hooks. Take a couple practice swings, miss that bottle, then come on in here and hit one. Let's give it a try. All right, didn't hit anything really. Great question, Ron. Let's see what else we got here. James, Joe, can you explain how, if you're able to do your own video analysis, if it could help? Okay. James goes, can you explain how, if able to do your own video analysis, it could help you understand your swing path? So remember that line I drew? So we're going to pretend this yellow stick here is that line we drew on the end, right? Now, the more your club path comes into out, right, the more it comes from the inside under this line, your club path is going too far to the right, right? We can use that drill that we just did to get more on top of it, more of a divot to hit down on you. And then just doing a video on Facebook. All right, thanks. Got a visitor. All right, now if you're coming more over the top, right? So you're coming more above the line here, right? We can see that on the video. We can see the club head coming too much over it. That club path is going too far to the left, right? So we've got to, do these drills, do the water bottle drill to kind of fix our club path and go in the opposite direction. Matt goes, advice on hitting a downhill lie with a fairway wood. That's a tough one. Yeah, side hill lie, above and below your feet. All right. So let's go, we'll go downhill lie first. We'll go the tough one. With a fairway wood, first thing I'm gonna point out is how difficult of a shot is it, right? If it's a par 5, right? And you're not getting there in 2, maybe hit a 6-iron instead of the fairway wood, right? Only if you could really, you could get it to the green, or you think your percentage of hitting that shot successfully is good. Or if there's some water in the way, you might want to lay up or something. But a downhill lie, the first thing that we're going to do, right? With any side hill lie, uphill, downhill lie, you've got to take your shoulder level, right? And you've got to match it to the slope. So if we take this stick right here, right, we're just going to change setup. We're going to do the same swing, but we're just going to change setup. So if this is the slope, for example, right? I'm trying to think, what does that look like to you in the video? That looks like a downhill lie to me, right? So what we're going to do, we got to tilt our shoulder level that way to match it to the ground. Vice versa, this way. We've got to match our shoulder level that way, right? Now, what you need to understand is the ball flight is going to be different, right? On a downhill lie, that ball flight is going to come out low, right? You just need to expect that. In uphill lie, right, that ball's probably not going to go as far, right? Because we're leaning back like this and we're going to hit that ball straight into the air. So if you've got 100 yards on an uphill lie, maybe hit your 110, 120 club, where on a downhill lie, you actually might get more distance out of using a club with more loft. Because if you're hitting a fairway with very little loft, chances are that thing is going to be very close to the ground. But I was trying to think who had Matt. I think Matt asked that question. Matt, just change your shoulder level at setup, right, to match the slope. You should be all good. Side hill lies are easy, right? We're going to change our grip. Right? If the ball is above our feet, right? Ball's more up here, we're just going to choke down. We're going to make the club a little bit shorter. And if the ball is below our feet, we've got to go down after that. So we're going to do one thing with our feet, right? We're going to go just a little bit wider, right? Almost like we're in a bunker. We're going to go wider. That's going to lower the club, right? Lower the club head and allow you to get down to that ball. Now, one thing to remember, on a side hill lie, the ball is going to have some curve to it. It's just going to have natural curve, right? It's not something that you can fight. You just need to embrace it. Easy way to remember it is if you poured water out on the slope, which way would the water go? So if the ball's above your feet, you pour water out, the water is going to go to the left, right? That's the way the ball's going to curve. It's naturally going to have a little bit of a hook. And then if the ball's below your feet, if you poured water out, it would go to the right, the water, right? So that's the way the ball's going to go. It's going to curve to the right. So just try and visualize that, Matt. But Matt, great question. All right, cool. I think we're caught up in the questions. Let me check my text here. See if we got any more questions. Nope. All right, why don't we let's get to a couple putting drills, guys. Putting is super important, right? That's where these PGA Tour players make their money, by holing putts. Drive for show, putt for dough. All right, so drill number 1 with putting. Controlling the distance, right? There's 2 elements to putting. There's alignment, right? How we aim the putter, and then there's distance control, right? Which one do you think is more important, right? The answer is distance control, right? If we could control the speed and the length the ball's going, you're going to be a great putter. All right, so I'm going to take the computer off here and give you guys a nice drill on speed control. All right. Put you right here. All right. I think everybody can, let me put it this way. All right, so when we're hitting some putts, the way we're going to control our speed or how far the ball is going, right? We're going to change the length of our backswing, right? So if I'm hitting a 3-footer, I'm going to go yellow to yellow here, right? Everybody see the colors? I've got corresponding colors, blue and blue, green, green. The center here is where we're going to place the ball, and what we're going to do is just change the length of our backswing. So if I've got a 10-footer, I'm going to go blue to blue. A 30-footer would probably be green to green. Now, with most of my students, most of my putting lessons, I see a lot of people bring the putter back to the same spot every single time, which is about right here. And the way they change the distance that the ball goes is they speed up the follow through, right? So they go here, This would be a 3-footer. This would be a 10-footer. This would be a 30-footer, right? So I just want you to think of the length of backswing when you're kind of hitting different size putts. So I want you guys just to think about that, and it might feel like you're taking a really long backswing. That's okay. That's normal. This is also something that you guys can make. It's not that hard. I've got just a wooden dowel here that I just kind of taped, and the tape is equal distance from the center there. Might feel like you're taking really long backswings and kind of hitting the brakes coming through. Any questions on that one, guys? Great visual advice, Joe. Thanks, Kelly. All right, one more putting drill. If you guys have a question on that one, just shoot it in the comments. I'm going to do one more putting drill while I've got it down here. All right, this one is very popular. This is called the gate drill. Now, the cool thing with the gate drill normally is you use tees here, right? You just stick them right near the green. I can't do that here on the carpet. But what I can do is just kind of lay them down. Now, we talked about center contact before, right? I think that was one of the questions from somebody. Center contact is fundamental number one, right? Even with putting, right? It's super important to hit putts solid. So that's what the gate drills work on, right? Now, if you go to a PGA Tour event, head over to the putting green. I bet you're going to see everybody working on this thing. At least half the people on the putting green, they always have a gate set up. They're always working on center contact. I've got a video on my Instagram about Gary Woodland talking about it after leading the PGA Championship on like Saturday. He ended up choking, but that's fine. It's a good video. Go check that one out. But what we're going to do here is we're just going to set up a gate, right? I'm going to set that ball up. Make sure that the golf ball is set up in the center of your club face, right? Not out here on the toe, not in the heel. Make sure it's set up in the center. And just make a little gate that you've got to hit it through, right? And if you do properly, you're going to miss both of those tees. Just like that, right? See how straight that ball goes? Just make some shot. You could do this indoors too. You guys can do this, right after this Facebook Live session. Just kind of roll some putts. Just miss those tees. So this would be a bad one. Let me show you a bad one. How cool are these balls, by the way, guys? Look at that. Look at these new Callaway American flag balls. Love these things. Pretty sick. Got to get some of these for the Met PGA Hope crew. All right, so here's a bad one. Right, see how I just clipped that tee? So, you would need to work on the next one, kind of compensate and feel like you're coming more this way, because that putter came and hit this tee. But guys, work on those two drills, and, I guarantee you'll be a better putter by the end of the year if you work on those two every day. All right, Joseph, I find it hard to keep the line when I take it back too far for a long putt. You mean the alignment, Joseph? Thanks, Mark. I find it hard to keep the line when I take it back too far in a long putt. Joseph, do you mean like, do you mean that like you open the club face too much and it's pointing way to the right? Is that what you mean? Keep the line when I take it too far back for a long putt. Unfortunately, Joseph, I'd have to see your swing. I'd have to see your swing to kind of figure out what you're doing wrong there. But maybe it's just something you need to practice. Just practice that length of stroke. Whenever something is different, right, than what we've been doing, it feels uncomfortable. It's hard to take straight to the course. So make sure you get some reps on the practice putting green or in your house, like right now, stuff like that. But Joseph, send me, I know you have Facebook because you're watching me right now, but send me a video of you putting. I'd be happy to help you out, man. All right, so I think that's enough putting. Why don't we we're like 45 minutes here, so I don't want to run out of time. I want to do a couple chipping drills, right? Short game, guys. I just need to preach that if you guys want to lower your handicap, like you should spend less time hitting balls on the range and practicing your short game. Like that's all I practice these days. I kind of use the driving range as more of a warm-up than a practice session. All right, so chipping. Let Grab my wedge. All right, so one of my favorite drills with chipping is called the tower drill, right? Grab one of the balls. So what you're going to do, right, when we chip the golf ball, we need to hit down on it, right? We almost need to take like a small divot. Now, with setting up for chipping, you want to make sure that you got your weight forward on your left side, balls in the back of your stance, okay? But you never... Who's hit that little chunk? They're right by the green. You hit the chunk or you blade it, right? You line drive it over the green. That's such a frustrating shot. I get it, right? This is the drill to kind of get rid of that. We're going to place a towel, probably about a club head behind. Let's give it a little bit more room, right? You could always start with it farther back and move it in to try and make it harder. But all we're going to do here is hit some chips and avoid hitting the towel. Right, this is for chipping, like shots right off the green. They're going to roll out a lot, hit the green and kind of run. So if I do a bad one here, I'm going to go hit it. Right, just see that. So the club on a chip shot needs to work. You need to feel like it's working more up and down than around. All right, so I'll hit one here. Right, that was nice, crisp contact, nice and solid. This is something simple you could do in your backyard, or you could even do this one in your living room too. Just don't hit the golf balls towards the plasma TV. All right, let's see if we got any questions. Thanks, Donna. Thanks, Mark. Yes, can't get it back to square impact. Yeah, Joseph, so your putter sounds like it's definitely open. The club face is open. You probably have way too much face rotation, which just means you're just opening it and closing it too much, right? So, what you need to do, once again, send me your swing so I can take a look, because I'm kind of assuming right here. What you need to do is just kind of focus on keeping that face more square. So feel like you're using your hands a lot less and using your shoulders more, right? The more you use your hands, the more easy it is to open and close that putter club face, right? So just feel like you're rocking your shoulders, using the big muscles to make a good putting stroke versus your hands. James, is there a difference between a stroke mallet and a blade putter? Great question. There's some science. There's definitely some science to the difference between those two putters, right? A blade putter is said to open and close more. The face is designed to open and close more, where the mallet is designed to go more straight back and straight through. There is some science to that, but I think you just need to find a putter that works for you. If you could putt with a putter, you could putt with any putter. That's what Dave Orr would say. One of the best PGA Tour coaches, putting coaches in the country, in the world, actually. See if we got any more. Thanks, Gabe. What's happening, man? Yeah, so James, to answer that question, just, what I like to do in putting is just hit them both. See which one you putt better with, to be honest with you. There's no quick fix when it comes to putting. Oh, you gotta get that putter, right? That's the first thing people want to do is you gotta buy a new putter, right? It might be good for your psyche, but just try them all. Try them all. See which one you're rolling the best, right? Which one you can control the speed with, or that you can aim best. Matt goes, who should use a face bounce putter versus a toe hang putter? Like I said, Matt, a face bounce putter, works for someone who doesn't have a lot of face rotation, right? That would want more of a straight back and straight through stroke, right? So someone who arcs the putter more, has more of an arc, would benefit from a toe hang putter. But that's the science and reasoning behind it. I'm a real firm believer of just testing them out, right? Just taking them out to the putting green, testing them out. Which one are you hitting more solid consistently? That's what you guys should be thinking about, when it comes to selecting putters. All right, how much time we got? All right, so let me give one more chipping drill, then we'll just do a couple full swing drills. All right, so This is not necessarily a drill. This is just a game you guys should play. I play this game all the time. I live here at Tuxedo on the golf course, so I live right next to the 8th hole. So I sneak out there all the time and play this game. I play 9 holes, grab my wedge and my putter, 9 holes up and down contests. I draw a clock around the green, and I go from 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock to 12, and then I go 4, 7, and I continue all the way around the clock. I guess that's 12 holes, right? So 12 holes, not 9 holes. And you just play up and down contests, right? You got to get the ball in the hole. We're not just chipping to a hole. We're gonna chip, and then we're gonna go putt out, and we're gonna keep a score, right? That I practiced that last year, and the most, and I probably had like my best year playing on the Met section last year. Had one of my best scoring averages ever. I can't emphasize how much you guys should, if you really want to lower your scores, how much you should be practicing your short game. So definitely work on that one. If you have access to a green, that's a no-brainer, right? Up and down contest. All right, before we run out of time, let's do a couple full swing drills. We're gonna do a driver angle of attack drill. Help you guys bomb your drivers. All right. So what you need for this, you need a sleeve of golf balls. Where's my sleeve? Lost my sleeve. I just took the ball. There they are. All right. Sleeve of golf balls, right? Driver. That helps. And tee. All right. So to maximize distance in a drive, right, our angle of attack needs to be positive, which means we need to hit up on the golf ball, right? Pretend the ground is right here. I've got the tee nailed in. That's why we tee the ball up so high with the driver. Want to catch the golf ball on the way up. That's what angle of attack is. If we hit down on it, this is what we do with an iron. We hit down on an iron, right? And that's why we take a divot. But never take a divot with a driver because we always want to hit up on it. Now, if this is something you struggle with, I want you to take a sleeve of golf balls, tennis ball. Okay. What you're gonna do, just put a sleeve of golf balls, probably, let's use maybe a foot for reference, a foot in front of your golf ball. And I'm gonna take one off just to show you guys. You're gonna hit some golf balls, and I want you to avoid hitting the sleeve, right? So if you hit really far down on the ball, you would hit it just like that. Now, in order to maximize your distance and hit some bombs, what you wanna do is catch that ball on the way up, right? Now, let me just show you kind of what to do with your body to help with this. What you really want to do, make sure your ball position is all the way forward, by the way, off the left foot. That's essential. And you really want to feel like taking the club here, right? And you're kind of hanging back, right? I'm not sure if that kind of looks backwards on the screen, but you want to hang back more towards your right side when you're hitting a driver to get it up, right? You never want to go down like that. So just focus on that. Another great visual is just keeping your head behind the golf ball. All right. I want to take my head and try and keep it behind the ball the whole entire time. I don't want to get the head of the golf ball. So that's a great drill for driving, guys. That'll really help you out. Hit some solid drives. If you change your angle of attack from negative to positive, I've seen people gain like 40, 50 yards. Like it's crazy. All right. Thanks, Artie. I wish with the drives. All right, so maybe let's do one more full swing. We'll do one more full swing drill here, guys. Then we'll kind of wrap it up. But if you guys have any more questions before we wrap up, put them in the comment box here so I can get to you before we head out. All right, so water bottle drill. Now, first things first, I want you to use your video. Use your new app, Puddle Technique. Take a look at where your club path is going, right? We're going to draw that line. We're going to draw that line, see if the club path is going too far that way or too far this way, right? Too far right, too far left. What we're going to do is use this water bottle. Use a cone, water bottle, you could use whatever. Sometimes I'll use some foam noodles just to miss the noodles, so my members don't hurt themselves. We'll use the cone just for the heck of it. All right, so if your club path, right, if you slice the golf ball, the golf ball goes way out to the right, you are swinging, your club path is going over the line, too far to the left, right? So we've got to get our club path going more out that way to the right. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the water bottle, actually. Water bottle is going to go about a foot behind and just a little to the right, maybe three inches or so. And you can make this harder by moving it closer, right? It doesn't have to be, you can start easy and then move yourself in a little bit closer to make it harder. So if we're slicing, we're just going to make some swings and miss this bottle, right? A slicer, go like that, hit the bottle. We're just going to make some swings and miss that bottle. This is a great visual. It's a lot easier to do the swing properly when you have something that forces you to miss versus just trying to do it on your own. Just like that. See how I actually started that ball to the right? I don't know if you guys can see that. And it came back. So now you're going to do the same thing for somebody who hooks. But any idea where we're going to put that bottle? We're just going to change the position of it. So if somebody hooks, their club path is going too far to the right, right? And what happens is that ball creates some spin, some right to left spin, and comes back this way. So if we're swinging too much this way from someone who hooks, we need to get more up and down, right? We actually did this drill earlier. I'm just going to go over it one more time. So we're going to stick it just on the other side, on the inside of the ball, right? Closer to your feet, in between your feet and the ball. About a foot behind, too. Just make some swings and force yourself to come more down on top of it, right? Versus from the inside there. Like I said, the water bottle is great because, you don't hurt yourself. It's very simple. And I know here at Tuxedo, we've got a water cooler right on the first tee, so it's pretty easy just to go grab one, right at the start of one of my lessons. All right, guys. Let's I'll give it just a minute or so for any wrap-up questions here. Guys, remember that app is Huddle Technique, H-U-D-L Technique. Great app, really cool. You could slow-mo your swing in 4 different speeds, so definitely check it out. All right, guys, don't forget, shoot me a message, Joe Condo Golf, Facebook, Instagram, if you guys have any questions. I'd be happy to help you guys. I really appreciate all you. Look forward to seeing you once we get started with the Met PGA Hope Clinics again. Don't know when it's going to be, but I know we'll be back. All right, thanks, Kelly. All right, guys. Really appreciate it. Hope you guys have a great day. Hope you're playing golf this weekend. It's going to be in the 70s. And thanks for joining me today.